Hello and welcome back to the Ring of Pain. Before I get into the video itself, a couple things to note. This is pre-recorded, so this was actually before we had completed the game entirely, but this build ended up being pretty insane, so I didn't want to scrap the recording, but I also wasn't in like the fullest state of mind when I recorded, so the commentary was kind of wonky. So I thought I would use this video to talk about, kind of where the channel's at and some of my thoughts that I have moving into the future, as well as to just give you guys a general update as well as some Ring of Pain content. So before I get into the stuff I really want to talk about, to give you an idea of what we're shooting for today in this particular run, were two things, one known to me at the beginning and one not so known. So the achievement that we were going for was the Soul Spill. This was after I figured out that really the easiest way to kill a room in one foul swoop was just to complete one of the earlier depth rooms with the Soul Spill after getting like, I don't know, maybe 20 souls or 28 souls or something like that. Just enough to overwhelm the health of the low enemies in the room. So with that said, now I can kind of talk about where I think my ambitions are for the future. So I took the last 5 days off, I think. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. So I took the last 5 days off, and I spent a lot of time thinking about, well, I spent a lot of time not thinking about the channel, but also thinking about the channel. I tried to give myself the time to kind of separate from it for a bit, and then come back and kind of play around with some ideas, what I think I want to do moving forward, and this is kind of where I've landed. So I'm going to share those thoughts with you today. Definitely feel free to share, anything that you have in mind as well. I've started doing some research for this plan that I have, so it's something that I have full intentions of fulfilling as my next major project, but I wanted to give you guys an update since you're already used to a certain kind of rhythm of how the content has been being uploaded recently. So, to give you a little background, if you are newer to the channel, Ring of Pain was the first game that I've played, and there's the nuclear achievement, for YouTube. So, back about 3 years ago, I started making Ring of Pain content because I really liked the game. It was during our lockdown for COVID, so I had a lot of time, and I was like, you know what, let's try, content creation and kind of see what happens. And at first, nobody watched the videos, and that was fully expected. I was happy to get one viewer, whether that be my mom, my friends, or some random person that clicked on the video and happened to watch it through. Now, where we stand, we just passed 1,400 subscribers, which thank you guys so much. That's like a number that I couldn't even have imagined before. And we're getting, 1,000+ views on all the videos. Again, just blowing my mind. Now, when I had first created the channel, I had inspirations from a lot of other channels as to what I thought I wanted to do, which was long form gameplay with commentary over it and kind of showcasing a game at, I guess what you could say would be kind of a quote-unquote high level. Like I would say after almost 400 hours in Ring of Pain and completing it, that I'm pretty confident in my ability to play this game at a relatively intelligent level. Obviously, with any roguelike and any game that has RNG as a factor, there's always going to be, times when we fail and mess up, and that's just the, kind of normal working process of getting better at anything. But with that said, as I have now taken the time to pretty much explore all of the things that really pique my interest in the Ring of Pain, and obviously once completing the game, I've been really finding it difficult to want to come back. And a lot of that kind of stems from me as an individual having a focus on goals that are completed, right? So like if I have nothing else to really search for in this game, it starts to kind of diminish my excitement to continue to play it. I love the game. I think it's a great game and everybody should try it, especially if they're new to roguelikes. But for me personally, it's kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I think I've done what I wanted to do in Ring of Pain. You know, we've gotten some really crazy builds, some really crazy experiences out of this game, and I'm kind of feeling it to the point where I'm like, okay, if I don't feel excited to play this game as much anymore, I don't want to force it, because sooner or later that will surely show through, in the content. And I even felt that when trying to record something this past weekend to have something prepared for today. And I was like, man, this just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like the content that I appreciate bringing to the table. So with that said, I'm probably going to say that a bunch. That's just like an easy segue for me. With that said, my focus moving into the future has a couple of circumstantial factors that are kind of molding this idea. So I am starting school in January, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to school for software development. And it's the first time I'll be going to school in about 7 years. So obviously making this decision was pretty big for me, and there's a lot of focus that I'm going to need to put towards making sure that I, complete that, not only to get my second degree, but also to make sure that the information that I'm gathering while I'm attending is actually sticking in something that I can use once I'm ready to put it to, actual practical use. So with school on my mind, and that being less than a month away, almost 20 days away at this point, I started thinking about how realistic it would be for me to attend school, take care of stuff I have, just going on in my normal life, and be uploading either daily or double daily, while also editing, creating thumbnails, and all of that good stuff. I was talking with somebody recently, and it didn't really occur to me until I had written it down in text, but I probably put more time into this in the last month than I would normally put into a full-time job. So when I thought about it that way, I was like, okay, if that's the case, then doing this while going to school is probably gonna make me, if I'm already feeling a little burnt out because I don't feel a ton of ambition to play the game right now, then I'm probably gonna feel that twice as much, moving into the future when I have an additional real world responsibility to deal with being school. So I started thinking about what I really like about content creation, and since finding Premiere Pro and dabbling in some very basic editing, as you saw in the maxed out soul stack video for the upgrade, you saw it in our achievement completion video, and I think I had a fair amount of editing in one more, but it's escaping me now. I'd have to go back and look. But since getting into even just a little bit of kind of elementary editing, I found that is really what makes me excited. I almost get more excited about editing than I do sitting down and playing the game, which is kind of a funny transition because I never thought I would have really liked editing all that much. I just thought it was too complicated for me to figure out. So with thinking about that, I was like, well, what if with school, kind of on the horizon and still wanting to create content? Because this is, for people who have been around for a while, content is something I've always wanted to do. Even when I wasn't uploading, I was always thinking about this channel. And a cynical part of me was like, I hope the channel just dies so that I don't have to think about this aspiration of being a content creator that has like a sizable audience at some point, you know, like potentially as a full-time job. And that wasn't because like I didn't want people to enjoy the videos, but it was just because I felt guilty for stepping away from the channel for any period of time. So to avoid that this time around, avoid that feeling in myself, I thought, well, what do you really enjoy about creating content, and how can you turn that into kind of a new angle for what you're already doing? So moving forward, my ambitions are to take a bit more time to create videos, potentially anywhere between like 15 days to a month. So they would be closer to like monthly to bi-monthly uploads while I'm in school, but bringing the quality of those videos to a whole new level that the channel hasn't seen. I've been doing some research on YouTube in general and kind of what makes good content and what's exciting to viewers and what makes the viewing experience fun for the viewers. And something new is something that kept ringing in every single like forum and Reddit post and everything that I read. It was like something new is what really excites people. And when I think about Ring of Pain, that's exactly what excites me about Ring of Pain, having something new to do, right? Having a new achievement to go for, having a new item to unlock, going for 100% completion, something I've never done before. So I was like thinking about what makes me excited about things and also comparing that against what makes people excited to watch content on YouTube in the first place. And I thought to myself, well, maybe that's what I need to put my focus towards, right? Maybe that's what I need to recognize is if I enjoy trying to make high quality content, but the ability to do that is being diminished by the fact that I feel like I have to upload every single day and then double upload to start new series and like consume all of my time just trying to make basic content, which I think is still good content. I want to kind of flex my knowledge a little bit and exercise some skills that I haven't fully developed. And I think longer form, or I should say like longer developed videos over the course of a longer period of time to increase that quality will help me grow in the most beneficial way for me mentally and for the channel in terms of quality. So I don't necessarily want to go into exactly what my plan is for the future. But the few things that I can kind of share about it are I really have intentions of playing a variety of games and kind of telling a story of my experience through that game through a certain angle. And that angle is kind of what I'm still hashing out. I'm still trying to like figure out exactly how I want to construct that. But that's always kind of been my favorite content on YouTube, is something new that you're not familiar with or you haven't seen before, and it's told to you in a way that makes you feel like you're kind of taking a journey. So again, all of this is to share with you guys because I am so grateful for everybody who's clicked on a video, watched one all the way through, subscribed to the channel. Any engagement with the channel at all has just been an incredible experience for me. And I can never, diminish that. But moving forward, I want to make sure that it's done in a way that's healthy for me. Because if it's healthy for me, it's going to be better content for you. So, that kind of leaves us at the end of my thoughts about where I'd like to take the channel. Part of the reason I share this is because more than likely with, you know, a couple of things coming up being Christmas, family stuff going on, and then school starting right after New Year's, the uploads are probably going to slow down a bit. But that's not to mean that the channel is by any means stopped. I'm going to be working on a project starting literally today. Like, research has already started, and I'm, you know, taking notes and hashing out ideas for the script and whatnot. But you'll probably, like I said, the uploads will not be nearly as consistent as they were in aims of delivering something fresh and something exciting for everybody, including myself. So I know you guys have always been great about, you know, recommending that I take my time that I need, and that you guys will always be here to watch the stuff that I put up. And that's really, like, that means a lot to me, because I think any content creator will pretty much say the same thing, that, like, the hardest thing for us to gauge is what people, like, really think about the content or the channel, or, like, why we aren't growing, why we aren't growing how we might think we should, or, you know, any kind of culmination of those ideas. There's a lot of guessing from this side of the screen, and I am confident in what we've done up until this point, but I'm excited to, again, learn new things and kind of start a new journey. So, with that said, any thoughts that you guys have, please feel free to share below. I'm really excited to get started with this new project, and it'll be paced in a way that I think will be more mentally healthy for me. Because this last month, although it's been so much fun, has been so much work. And, you know, I've kind of, like, taken time away from talking to my friends and talking to my family and stuff to always be recording, always be editing and creating thumbnails and trying to learn all these new things. So I think it will be a healthier change for the channel overall. And I'm really, really excited because I've been racking my brain trying to come up with an idea that feels unique, and I think I finally kind of landed there. So, again, thank you guys so much for, you know, everything that all the support that you've given me up until this point. It's really just been crazy, more than I ever could have imagined. And to tag along with that, I will also do my best to stay active on the channel while the uploads aren't coming through as frequently, right? So whether that's while I'm recording for this new project, I have a run of whatever game, you know, that I'm playing that I want to put up, you know, as kind of sporadic uploads. The community posts, I love reaching out to you guys through the community posts and taking polls and getting ideas and just chatting. And then I also do plan a stream in the near future. I will give you guys more details on that once I know more so around when it's going to happen. It will likely be a longer form stream, because I don't plan on necessarily streaming regularly, but I want to give a pretty large window of opportunity for anybody that does want to stop by to check it out and, you know, come and chat, because I think that would be really fun. But that's about all I have to say for now on kind of what I think about the channel. I just wanted to make sure that, because I made, obviously, promises last week that there would be a video this week, so I wanted to make sure I held up on my end on that and share this pretty crazy build with you, which I'll talk about a little bit in just a moment here. But then also, you know, just kind of keep you guys in the loop, because I feel like that's only fair. There have been times in the past when I stopped uploading and I sort of just, like, evaporated, and that doesn't feel good for anyone. It doesn't feel good for me. It doesn't feel good as a viewer, and YouTube doesn't like it either. The YouTube algorithm, I should say. Nobody at YouTube is actually upset. So, with that said, any thoughts you have, drop them down below. Like if you would, helps with the video. But either way, this is for you guys, the people that are already here. If other people stumble upon the video, they'll know what's up as well. But this is really my message to you guys as the people that I appreciate, that have been engaged with this channel, whether it's a day or since we started 3 years ago. I appreciate everybody. I really do. So, to jump back into this run here, we have basically, it's coming to its fruition pretty soon here, as far as the real guts of the build. But basically, it's a consumption build with Ascension, which is just a, well, I had Ascension. Didn't I have Ascension? Or am I going to get Ascension? So it's a consumption Ascension build. Maybe I already traded him out and I get him back later. I actually can't remember now. But what's interesting about this build, which starts to come together here, is the massive amount of healing that we get from consumption doubles over on crushing concoction in a way that's just insanity. So like even here you see after just a couple attacks, I've almost cleared the room. And that's in conjunction with my feed and the potions. As you can see there, we just healed up and basically finished off the rest of the room. So with consumption, something that's not really obvious maybe just from looking at it is consumption gives you 7 HP, right? But that 7 HP is also technically a heal. So you get 7 HP as a small heal because anytime you pick up more max HP, you get that HP along with, you know, your max being increased, right? So that's 7 on top of the heal that we get from potions themselves, which are being amplified by our Changeling Crown because we have an absolute metric ton of clarity. So every time we heal, we do more damage by healing than we do any other form of damage, which I think is why I ended up dropping the Ascension earlier on. So like as you see here, our Light Caller is doing a little bit of damage, but as soon as we're able to heal, we'll just decimate the room. And we have so much health that we can just eat attacks from the owl without really being worried about it. So we cleared the room there with the Light Caller. And we're going to heal up a little bit shortly. Yeah. So we'll move to the left here. Then we'll heal up. And that'll do just, what, another 10 damage. Yep, another 12 petrify because of the Light Caller. And so the owls got 26. They had 26 petrify on them and bumped all the way up to 62 simply by picking up a potion. There's another 20. While also killing everything else in the room. Just an insane combination where I don't even need to attack. It's beneficial for me to attack only to lose HP. Like, I don't do any damage. I do 1 damage to the owl and a couple of damage with Light Caller because we actually take damage from attacking the owl. So we're sitting at 96 currently. Probably up to 100 once I move and take that poison damage. And then we'll see with this next potion, which I should take. Kind of like thinking through what I want to do here just so I don't actually die. So up to 102, and then up to 135, up to 165, up to 200 in 3 moves. Like, we did 100 damage in 3 moves without ever actually attacking the owl, and then just did 100 damage by healing up with our feed because he had so much petrify on him. But this was actually funny. So if you look at his health, I was like, what is going on here? It's basically full, 486 out of 500. He lost all of his petrify because of his health gate, but also the health bar is not showing like the fraction properly or the proportion properly of 486 or whatever it was out of 500 because it was like under or just about at half. I don't know what happened there, but I've never seen that before. So that was definitely interesting. But now with another 50 health missing, we can heal up for 33, which basically kills everything in the room. 35. it's just, this was just nuts. This all came together on accident. Like I said, I wasn't actually like in a proper state of mind when I recorded this video, so I was kind of just like picking up items and see what happens. But that's part of the beauty of this game, is you don't always have to have a plan. You can just kind of go in, play, pick up items, see what works with other items, see what doesn't work with other items. Like, that's part of what makes you better at this game, is failing a lot of runs, because then you're like, okay, I can't pick up that item then, or okay, those two items are actually an anti-synergy and they don't work together at all, or that maybe they even cause negative effects, right? So this was a fun experience for sure. And just some massive souls coming in, trying to take some damage here. I think we actually start attacking the spine backs. Oh no, we were just like, at this point we had so much damage raining down, it didn't even matter what we did. Lightcaller basically killed off everything in the room there. Healed up for 24 to basically just double up that petrify on the owl already. I didn't want to take the potions yet if I didn't have to, simply because I wanted to be able to use them to heal. And then now I'm just looking for my next big heal opportunity. I know I'm low. Kill everything off in the room with that. I know I've got a 34-point heal on the other totem if I want to use my feed. Not afraid to take this 30 damage because we have almost 200 HP at this point. And then heal for another 58 to clear out the room. Heal for another 29 to add another 100 petrify to the owl. It's just, there was no stopping this build, really. And this was actually an interesting moment, again, being almost completely alone. That's actually the second time it happened this run where I was completely alone with the owl in the room. It's kind of interesting. That doesn't happen very often. It was kind of a slow-moving build just because I did need opportunities to heal here. Even after watching this back, there are definitely more times where I could have used my feed a little bit more advantageously to get off more damage kind of in lump. But, I mean, also, at this point, the bird has 108 petrify on him. If I get the bird back into the ring, I use my feed on him and he's basically dead. So we bring the bird back into the ring. There's 128 petrify on him. Apparently I don't use my feed here. Do I eventually? Oh, I was waiting to. I was trying to take a little bit more damage so I could. Heal up for a quick 20 and then literally put the bird down with a 160-point heal for the game. And that is that. So yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think. Part of this is me knowing I need more time to kind of experiment with something new, and it's feeding my need for that creative spark again. Having something exciting and entertaining for everybody to take the channel to a new place. So if you did enjoy the video, thank you so much for stopping by. Like I said, I'll stay connected as I can going into the future, but you guys are great. Thank you for everything, and we'll catch you in the next one.